Hello and welcome to Mint. This is Zara Khan and you're watching the weekly corporate roundup. Now this week was buzzing with corporate activity, some good news for the real estate industry and some bad for the auto industry, along with a couple of deal announcements. To start with, the week began with the untimely demise and the alleged suicide of Tata Motors MD Karl Slym. We have with us our auto reporter Shally Seth, who's going to give us input on that.
Yeah, as you would be aware, Karl Slym, who was 51, he just jumped off the 22nd floor of one of the five-star hotels that he was putting up in Bangkok. He had gone to that country for a board meeting for Tata Motors Thai unit. There was some board meeting he had gone to attend that for, and the Thai police has been investigating the case, and whatever has come out so far, it suggests that it was a suicide. Now, this has happened at a time when Tata Motors is going through one of its worst phases. Sales and market share, volumes, and everything else has been at an all-time low. And Karl Slym's death comes as a real shock, not only to the company but to the whole industry. He was trying to do a lot of things to turn around operations at Tata Motors that has been which has been suffering from systemic issues. So he joined the company in October 2012, and he had barely completed a year. And this has happened, and this is the second time in less than 3 years that we have seen the top guy at the company who was heading the company quitting. The earlier guy was Carl Peter Foster. He also quit in September 2011 abruptly, citing personal reasons. So Tata Motors remains headless, and people are saying that it is back in the neutral gear. He had a challenging task at hand, and he was doing quite a few things to make sure that the company revives its operations, be it on the quality front, which has been one of the talking points for most Tata car owners, or new product development, or for that matter, dealer development. So he was firing on all cylinders, and all of a sudden, with him gone, there seems to be people are wondering, what lies ahead. And even the commercial vehicle market, in which it has been enjoying a leadership position, has been going through a very tough phase because of the macroeconomic scenario that we have been seeing, and that's a growth, low GDP, and also the competition has been intensifying, whether it's the commercial vehicle market or the car market. By the multinational companies. So there's really, it's kind of worrisome for we need to watch out for people. The company has yet to announce who is going to replace Slym. It will take them a while before they look for his replacement. They may be announcing an interim managing director in their next board meeting, which is likely to happen on the 14th of February.
Thank you, Shally. So that was some really sad news coming from Tata Motors and for the auto sector in general. Moving on to the two deal announcements that happened this week. The first one was from the $40 million Aditya Birla Group, whose group company Aditya Birla Nuvo decided to sell its BPO arm, Aditya Birla Minax. And we have with us Madhura Karnik, who's going to give us more details. Hey, Madhura.
Hi, Zara. So on Thursday, Aditya Birla Nuvo announced that they are selling the BPO arm, that is Minax, to a consortium of financial investors headed by Capital Square Partners and CX Partners. And the total amount that they sold Minax for was around 1,600 crore. So analysts believe that this was a very good valuation that the business got, and it is on track with the strategy of the group, because the strategy has been to concentrate on telecom with idea, retail, and financial services. So the BPO part was a bit of a laggard in the entire business, so they've gotten rid of that. So that's a good news for the company. But it'll be interesting to know what other non-core assets would they be divesting in the future. So yeah, that was a pretty important decision that the company took.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Madhura. Now, moving on to another asset sale where UK-based clean energy producer Greenko plans to buy Lanco Infra's hydropower project. And to give us details, we have with us Deepti Chaudhary. Hi, Deepti.
Hi. Yeah, so Greenko is going to acquire Budhil, which is a hydropower project of Lanco Infratech in Himachal Pradesh, for about 650 to 700 crore. It's a fairly interesting deal because, it has been under the works for more than a year. As we all know, Lanco is under debt stress. The company is undergoing a CDR, and the CDR is about 40,000 crore. And they need to cut down on their assets, basically liquidate assets to create a corpus. We have three people who are telling us this. One includes a Lanco senior official. And what we have also got to know is that Greenco is not just looking at Budhil, it's also looking at several other hydropower projects in Arunachal Pradesh. And this asset sale from Lanco comes at a time when we have seen quite a few infrastructure companies in India looking at pairing their debt by liquidating assets. So one example is GVK Infrastructure, another is Adani. And what we are seeing in the last 2 years is that these companies are under a lot of stress because their profit margins are shrinking as the economy is slowing, and there is very high interest rate. So they are under stress to raise capital. So this is what is happening in the case of Lanco.
Okay, great. Thank you, Deepti, for joining us. Now, finally, moving on to the real estate sector, which saw some good news this week with the Supreme Court order on the private forest land, which is now free for the real estate developers in Mumbai to develop. A lot of the stocks cheered. With the likes of Godrej Properties up by 5%. We have with us our Mumbai-based real estate reporter Uni Krishnan S, who is going to give us more details. Hi, Uni.
Hi, sir. So this Supreme Court ruling has set aside the Mumbai High Court verdict in 2008. So that basically means that a lot of developers whose projects have been stuck because this land has been reserved as the private forest land. Now they will be able to seek permission from the local authorities and start the project. So the direct beneficiaries are Godrej Properties Limited and Oberoi Limited. Oberoi Realty, which is the second largest real estate company in India, they have a 19-acre plot in Mumbai suburb called Mulund, where they are building a premium housing project. So in that project, which has been stuck, and now with this verdict, they will be able to start the project, and as per the sources, they will be able to start after getting the requisite permissions. They will be able to start by the second half of this calendar year. And in the case of Godrej Properties, they have a huge land bank of 133 acres in Vikhroli, which is owned by another subsidiary of Godrej Group, which is called Godrej and Boys. So Godrej and Boys, along with a partnership with Godrej Properties, they will be able to develop this land. And they, as Adi Godrej, the chairman of the group, has said that they will soon set up the plans.
Okay, great. Thank you, Uni, for your insights. With that, it's a wrap, and please tune in next week for another edition of the Corporate Roundup. Thank you.